Kindly like this
Recommend for
video.
every home and every kitchen to get some of this chili oil and chili sauce because it comes in very handy. I already have a recipe of this on the channel, but this is an updated version. It is versatile. It is delicious. It is a great way to preserve some of your ingredients. So keep watching. For this recipe, I'll need this type of chili, peppers, the long red spicy ones, some onions, garlic, and some ginger. I'll be using my manual chopper to finely chop the ingredients. I got this from China Mall. In case you're in Ghana and you're interested in getting some of this manual chopper, it comes in very handy. Alternatively, you can use your food processor to do this, and I'm sure you can also get some from Jumia. You can order for some online. So I worked on the garlic, and then I'll just go ahead and do the same with the ginger. I'll also chop my onions, sort of cut them into manageable sizes for the manual chopper to be able to chop it easily. I remember the first time I did this recipe, I had to manually chop them, which took a long time. So having this manual chopper makes it easy. Also, as I mentioned, food processor, because you don't want this to be smooth. You want it to look like what you are seeing on the screen at the moment. For the pepper, I blended it in my blender with just a little water. But as I said, you can use your food processor. You need a lot of oil for this, so be generous because the oil itself is going to do wonders for your dishes. It's never going to waste. So I have some calabash, nutmeg, cinnamon, cloves, and bay leaves, and then some onions. You can add spring onions. Usually I add spring onions. I didn't have some, so I added when I was peeling the onions. I added that to it, and once you see it floating on top like this and the onions are also browning nicely, that's an indication. What you want is for all the spices that you added to infuse nicely into the oil. I added star anise as well. I did mention that. So any spice that you love, any spice that you want to taste in your oil, feel free and add that. And once I took that out, my oil was a bit hot. So I added in the ginger and then the garlic, and then I'll just go ahead and stir this nicely. After some time, I added my onions. I love the fragrance that I get when I fry my garlic in the oil. So that is how come I fry the garlic in the oil first before adding the onions. As I said, this is the first time I'm adding onions. I usually do not add onions to this, but I think it has been a great addition. It toned down the spiciness of the chili, which works because I have little mouths to feed. And the addition of the onions also gave it a bit of sweetness. Onions are sweet, so it just worked perfectly. So I'll just go ahead. When I've added everything that I need to add, I'll just add in some seasoning cube. Once I add in the seasoning cube, I'll just lower the heat and be stirring from time to time. It's very important that you want to taste how you want to taste first before adding salt, because seasoning cube itself has some salt in there. So after some time I tasted and I felt I needed a bit a bit more salt, so I added it to it, and then I'll just go ahead and reduce the fire and fry this. You want to fry this till all the moisture in it evaporates. If you want this to last for a very long time, then you need to take your time, lower the heat and fry it. And I have done this for a number of years now consistently. I kept one that I didn't open, and for a whole year it was just as good as the day I did it. That is how good this is. And so it is one of the reasons why I mentioned that it is also a great way of preserving your ingredients. When they are in season, you buy it. You know, some of these peppers and garlic and ginger, they are seasonal. So when they are in season, you buy it, you do this, you keep this, and it is going to work wonders. Okay, so I'll fry it so you can see that the color is changing. When you stir it, it becomes lighter. Okay, but make sure that you reduce the heat so that it doesn't burn. So at this time I had let it cool down completely, and I'm going to store them in my jar. In Ghana, we do something similar to this that is called shito, but shito usually have some tomato paste in there, and we have shrimp powder and herring powder. This does not contain any of those, so I can confidently say that we can, refer this as maybe a vegan shito because it doesn't have any protein. So vegan, vegetarian friendly. The wonderful thing about this is you can use the oil separately and the chili separately. So as you can see, the videos that I'm showing is the various ways by which I use this oil. I use it to marinate my meat, because it has the flavors of all the spices that we put in there. It has the chili, the garlic, the ginger, the onion flavor in there. So all you need is to add some to your meat, and then add some salt or something, and then you are good to go. So it comes in very, very handy. I use this for my beef and spag stir fry, and it was absolutely delicious. Anything that you also use your shito for, you can use the main sauce for that. Okay, so let's take a look at this tilapia as well. For the tilapia, I used both the sauce and the oil to use marinate it. I grilled it, and it came out absolutely good. As I said, it just reduces my cooking time. Anytime I am able to do this and I put it down, and I don't run out, I try as much as possible not to run out. Make sure that I have some all year long, because I know how this has benefited me and made life in the kitchen very, very easy. All the recipes that are showing are things that I use the oil for, and I didn't have to look for some ginger powder, garlic powder, or now come and start blending all this stuff, because I have my chili oil and my chili sauce. And as I said, anything that you use your shito for, fried rice, wache, you can use this chili sauce as a replacement. For this particular yam recipe, I just used the oil, added some onion, tomato, egg, and I was good to go. I hope you find this helpful. Please like, subscribe, and share with someone. Thank you for watching.